streaming rules of the ICI, the Commission. Right. First of all, good afternoon to everyone. The Independent Commission for Infrastructure, or ICI, hears and acknowledges the Filipinos' clamor for transparency. We are one with the people in its fight to hold accountable those responsible for the anomalous infrastructure projects through which billions in public funds have been stolen. In crafting the live streaming guidelines, the Commission carefully weighed rights of equal importance. First, the Filipino people's right to information, and second, the right of resource persons and of individuals who may be mentioned during the proceedings to due process. The ICI anchored these guidelines on the 1987 Constitution, which upholds the people's right to information on matters of public concern and provides that the state pursue a policy of full public disclosure of all transactions involving public interest, subject to reasonable conditions prescribed by law. With these principles in mind, and guided by law, issuance, and even cases decided by the Supreme Court, the Commission has decided that the hearings and proceedings of the ICI shall be live-streamed, except in cases where there is a need to hold an executive session. Government agencies in the investigation of anomalous flood control projects or infrastructure projects, as well as resource persons or witnesses, may request that certain proceedings be held in executive session. The Commission may grant such requests if it determines that these have sufficient and factual basis and that granting them will not delay or hinder the Commission on fulfilling its mandate. These live streaming guidelines will also apply retroactively to the previous proceedings of the ICI. Media entities may broadcast the live streaming of the proceedings upon complying with the requirements of the Commission, and the Commission will be sharing to the public the full guidelines for live streaming in line with the Commission's thrust on transparency. Okay? So basically, ang sinasabi lang ng ating ng Commission is that the general rule is that all proceedings and hearings of the Commission henceforth will be live streamed, but subject to executive session as may be required by law, requested by government agencies who are also investigating these anomalous infrastructure projects, or as may be requested by our resource persons or witnesses. With that, I will be entertaining a few questions.
Attorney, kailan ito magsisimula and anong platform ang gagamitin ng ICI for the live streaming of this hearing?
Well, right now I'm discussing matters already with our technical team on how this will be handled. But under the guidelines, it will have to be controlled by the ICI through one outlet. And similar to probably in the Supreme Court, nakatap ang mga media outlets natin dun sa ICI platform.
Sir, this sa Facebook po ba or sa YouTube itong magiging live streaming ng ICI?
We're exploring both Facebook or YouTube.
Kailan po ang target na?
Ang target natin would be the next hearing, probably next week, if nakaset na ang ating system.
And sino po yung haharap doon para sa unang live streaming ng ICI hearing?
We will announce it to you once we've the schedule of the Commission has finalized it.
Okay. Lastly, sir, for the media, pwede po ba kaming pumasok doon sa loob ng hearing session or makakaantabay lang din kami tungkol sa ICI live stream?
Sa ngayon, nakaantabay muna ang media dito siguro sa room na to. We will provide you with a monitor or some connection with regard to our main platform kung saan nakatap yung media.
good afternoon, attorney.
Yeah.
Sir, lahat ba ng resource persons ay papatawag natin ay papayagan mag-request ng executive session or hindi ba natin papayagan yung mga meron ng referral sa ombudsman or may case na sa Sandigan Bayan?
Well, ang mangyayari dito, as I said earlier, general rule natin is live stream unless requested by the resource person for executive session. So, ganun muna ang gagawin natin. In fact, ang importante is malinaw sa aming live streaming. Sa aming guidelines is that live streaming is the default. Yan yung magiging general rule ng proceedings natin, except kung may request nga for executive session.
Follow up, sir. So you will send the invitation maybe a week prior, and then from that time, pwedeng mag-request ng executive session yung resource person.
Yes, of course. They can request for that.
Sandra Ginaldo.
Yeah, hi Sandra.
Hi sir. Just to follow up on that, paano po natin na-ensure na hindi maabuso yung pag-request sa executive session? Under what conditions po yung masasabing acceptable para hindi ito magamit?
Well, pinag-isipan ng mabuti, no? Pinag-aralan ng mabuti ng commission yan. No? As I mentioned earlier, tinignan namin yung existing laws and even the guidelines or issuances and cases decided by the Supreme Court. And if I may, no, payagan ninyo ako, sasabihin ko na rin dito kung ano maaari itong mga to. No? First of all, if yung information na maaring ibigay ng ating resource person, nakakonekta sa national interest or national security, pagka yung information, it will put the life and safety of an individual in imminent danger. Tapos pagka ito ay would interfere, any information would interfere in the enforcement of the in the investigation. No? So marami yan, nakalagay ito sa guidelines, mababasa ninyo kasi yung mga basis or legal basis natin o yung mga rason for executive session ay nakasulat doon. At titignan ng commission mabuti yan kung ang request nila ay hindi sa cloud dun sa may exception na yun, live streaming tayo. We want the commission as requested to be as transparent as possible. However, we are limited by what is provided for by the Constitution, by laws, and as I mentioned earlier, rulings and issuances even by our courts.
And sir, katulad din po ba ito sa Congress that the members can reveal to the public what was discussed in the executive session and what use po kaya ito sa pag-prosecute or paghahabol po sa mga nagkasahin?
Yes, of course, pag executive session tayo, ibig sabihin confidential, ano man ang mga pag-usapan dyan. As I mentioned earlier, it is outlined and detailed in the guidelines which I will be providing each one of you here. No? Kung bakit hindi pwede. Gaya nga ng sinabi ko, kung makaka-interfere ito o makaka-apekto sa ongoing investigation, yan ang isa sa mga rason kung bakit pwedeng magkaroon ng executive session. At the same time, pagka mayroong mga tao na nababahala sa kanilang seguridad, sa security nila, no? Isa yan sa magiging rason kung bakit pwede silang humingi ng executive session. But nevertheless, sabi ko nga, nakalagay na malinaw sa ating guidelines ay nasa commission yan kung papayagan nila ang executive session or not. Yes, Johnson.
Johnson from the ABS. Sir, napag-usapan ba yung possibility na i-play back yung previous hearings ninyo prior to the guidelines?
Yeah. Yes, Johnson. As I mentioned earlier, it will retroactively act to the previous hearings. No? So definitely, we will coordinate with them kung papayag sila or if it is something which has to be is covered by executive privilege or privilege in the sense na kung executive session yung napag-usapan, it should be covered by confidentiality, then ma-exempt siya sa general rule.
So just to clarify, hindi nakadepende doon sa resource person kung ilalive stream yung hearing or not. It depends on the situation, kung merong security, national security issues, etc.
Yes. Yun na nga yung dyan, no? Sabi ko nga kanina, general rule, live streaming. But they can request for executive session kung may grounds, which is clearly stated in our guidelines. Medyo detalyado dito. Bibigyan ko kayo ng kopya mamaya para makita ninyo.
And lastly, and in case meron mag-leak na information from the executive session, what will happen to those people na mag-leak na information or kaya dun sa resource person?
Meron doon sa guidelines also, there's also penalties with regard to violation of our live streaming rules.
What's the penalty?
Wala pang, it may be provided for by, as may be provided for by law. That is stated in our guidelines. Okay?
Sir, other matters lang. Kasi nabanggit kanina ni Sec. Vince na isa sa naging basihan ng DPWH at ICI sa referral ngayon sa Ombudsman ay yung mga naging pahayag ni Guteza sa Senate Blue Ribbon Committee as well as yung mga other contracts ng kumpanya ni Zalico. However, kasi sir, may issue no, sa notaryo nga doon sa mga affidavit ni Guteza. Ano yung thoughts niyo doon na parang sabi kasi ng publiko, medyo may issue doon, pero ginamit pa rin siya as evidences?
Just clarification, no? Yung referral kasi this morning was referral by the DPWH, no? Ang ginawa dito kasi nangyari dito was, that's why it was joined, because when the ICI learned that there was gonna be a filing on a referral by the DPWH, the ICI decided to also submit whatever information it has related to that referral by the DPWH. Now, as far as the question is concerned, kaya hindi pa namin nakikita, hindi ko pa personally nababasa ng gusto yung referral ng DPWH dahil sila ngayon nag-refer na.
Pero does the ICI know kung nasan ngayon si Guteza since, or may imbitahan niyo ba sila sa mga next hearing?
As far as invitation is concerned, ipapag-usapan ng commission yan. Yan naman ginagawa ng commission. They meet en banc, no? Meaning nagmi-meeting sila at dinidiscuss nila kung sino ang mga dapat imbitahin na maging resource person. So ngayon, wala pang listahan kung sino mga imbitahin, kung maiimbita mo si Guteza. But definitely, sabi ko nga sa inyo, kung meron mga iimbitahin na mga resource persons, sinasabi namin sa inyo beforehand. Pagka-confirm na, para lang hindi ma-discarry lang ating investigation.
MJ po from Inquirer.
Yes.
Meron na kami po kanina na next week yung target po na next hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Meron na po ba kayong resource person naman for that?
Yes, meron ng mga naka-line up na pwedeng maging aming testigo. But as I said, ang policy at saka ang procedure ng ICI is that we announce it a day before.
It includes po yun na sinabi ni Justice nung nakaraan na sila BBM po ay si Rolando Toledo.
Pardon me? Hindi pa na kung may invite si OIC ng DBM, we will inform you, no. But in the meantime, sa ngayon, I cannot divulge to you muna kung sino yung ating magiging resource persons or witnesses next week.
Sir, lastly sa EMCO, for soundbite purposes na din, ano ang commitment ng ICI dito sa new guidelines with live streaming? Kasi as you remember, sa una niyo pong sinabi na ang ICI nga ay parang ayaw nung magpa-influensya dun sa sinasabi ng publiko. Ano ang commitment kayo ng ICI dito sa ICI live streaming?
Commitment in what sense?
Commitment sa public na hindi may influensya. Kasi di ba pag sa mga live streaming po, minsan may mga comments din ng public sa mga nangyayari po sa hearing. So ano ang commitment niyo po dito sa bago yung live streaming guidelines? Hindi
naman bingi yung ICI, no? Kahit nga walang live streaming, naririnig namin kung ano yung mga clamors ng public. And despite of that, hindi naman nagpapa-influensya yung commission. We are very objective. We are very evidence-based, no? So in that sense, I don't think there's going to be change with regard to how the ICI will be deciding or acting.
Ibang issue lang po.
Yes.
Kukuha lang din po kami ng side po ng ICI about the statement of the PNP-CIDG. Pero sabi po ng PNP-CIDG, they have issued daw po subpoenas against certain individuals in connection with the flood control investigation daw po with the ICI. But when asked who are these individuals, sabi po, yung for 30 meals na lang daw po ay pumunta sa ICI.
So what is the question?
So, yung confirmation din po, and kumbaga, if you could name din po kung sino po yung mga nasabina, ganyan, and confirmation din po for that.
Isa pa yan sa diskusyon na kailangan naming plansyahin with regard to in connection with the coordination being made by the ICI and the PNP. No? Tinag-isipan namin kung there's a need to issue subpoenas with regard to these individuals kasi maaring dumoble pa ang ating trabaho dahil eventually naman pag makarating na ito sa Office of the Ombudsman, and I have confirmed this with the Assistant Ombudsman Miko Clavano, they will in fact still continue with a preliminary investigation because that is a requirement. So, kakausapin pa namin ang PNP with regard to that issuance of a subpoena.
Sir, follow-up lang ako. Yung nagpapanggap daw na taga-commission, may nabiktima na raw na congressman. What actions are we taking now?
Well, we want to verify that. No? If you have any verified information, kung yung nabiktima ng supposed scam na ganyan, pumunta sa amin, then we will investigate that matter immediately. No? Kasi as far as the ICI is concerned, that is a very important matter that we should look into. Kasi hindi kami pumapayag na magamit ang ICI sa mga ganyang illegal activities. No? Because definitely, hindi dapat ganyan. Kasi we're here to investigate. We are here to make those responsible accountable. So, if we can be provided with more information, then we will make the necessary action to investigate this and in a way, find the truth. Kung meron talaga mga ganyan, then papaimbestigahin natin yung mga yan para hindi maulit o hindi mangyari ulit.
Pero actually, ano po yung garantiya na maibibigay natin na hindi insider yung mga tao na ito, hindi tayo nasasalisihan sa loob ng commission?
Well, unang-una, ilan lang kami muna dito, no? But definitely, that's not a practice of the ICI. No? Kaya gusto namin maimbestigahan kaagad yan. Kasi kung meron man katotohanan yan, then we will have to make those responsible accountable. Kasi definitely, that's not the practice of the ICI. We don't do that.
Going back on the hearings, are we open on inviting resource persons to participate in our hearings via online platforms? For example, via Zoom, especially for those out of the country like some.
Sa ICI, hindi kasama sa ano namin yan, no, sa aming live streaming guidelines. It has to be in person. Okay? Alright? O Johnson, last na.
Sir, clarify lang, yung kanina referral daw sa Ombudsman, so yung referral of the DPWH and ICI or DPWH lang?
Yung dalawa yon, yung isa sa DPWH, yung joint in the sense that we submitted together. No? Kasi yung isa naman, referral namin is when we submitted the evidence and the documents pertaining to that referral of the DPWH to help the Ombudsman further investigate the matter. So yun yung naging joint submission as far as the DPWH and ICI is concerned.
Sir, any update dun sa information na binigay sa inyo ni Congressman Lidiste regarding the case of Deltona?
What about it? What is the question?
As the second biggest proponent dun sa flood control.
Are you asking me if I'm gonna confirm that?
What's the latest? Any update or schedule?
Wala pa kaming kung siya ba is second, wala pa akong confirmation diyan, no. I cannot conclude on that kasi hindi pa namin nakukuha yung kompletong data or information to make a conclusion such as that. Like that. Okay? Thank you. Last na siguro kasi
With regards lang po kay Lidiste.
Attorney kay Kong Lidiste din po. May any confirmation na po ba na bumisita yung ICI sa opisina ni Jose Cabral? Kasi parang nasabi po ni Kong Lidiste po na bumisita daw po yung ICI sa opisina ni Jose Cabral.
Kailan?
Nakasarado na daw po at nawala daw po yung mga components.
when was this?
According na po
Well, when I started dito sa which is September 24, wala pa ako nababalitaan na bumisita doon sa office ni
Pero di pa po kayo bumisita sa office ni
Ako, personally hindi.
Like the commission po, may
I will have to confirm that kasi nga, sabi ko nga, may palugit kasi, September 15 when they started the commission investigating. Pero when I came aboard on September 24, wala akong information on that fact. Okay? Thank you. Sino pa?
Thank you for watching.